All right. So as you know, today was marked the official end of the Obama administration, as we had the inauguration of the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump. And I've had a lot of people ask me about it, what my thoughts were, and I've purposely stayed off social media because I just didn't want to really deal with it. But enough people were asking me, I decided to kind of make this video in regards to today's proceedings, because I actually was on social media today for briefly, and I saw a wide variety of comments, some of them funny, some of them sad. Some people, today was the continuation of a temper tantrum that started on the conclusion of Selection Day. People are saying it's not my president, yada, yada, yada. And I can understand why you may feel that way. However, you do live in the United States, so whether you like it or not, for the time being, that is a commander-in-chief for 2, 4, or even 8 years. And since I didn't hear or see about a mass exodus of people to Canada or Mexico or to any of the nations on the continent, I'm going to assume that all of the people who talked so tough about leaving still continue to park their rumps right here in the United States of America. Now, a lot of people, again, and I'm speaking primarily to our community. I know a lot of brothers and sisters are feeling some angst, some unhappiness with what may come in the future. And I can understand why. I can't say I'm happy with the current state of affairs, politically speaking, in this country. But then again, I wouldn't have been happy had Hillary been selected either. I was not in favor of either of them. Particularly their past records, past actions overwhelmingly indicate their actions would not be in the best interest of our community. So, I needed to say that before anyone says I am pro one person or pro another. I was not. But I digress. But I look at it like this, and I hope that more of our people would see it this way, is that rather than it, looking at it as doom and gloom, but looking at this as kind of the impetus, for us as a community to get our collective affairs in order and get our empowerment together. Because for the past 8 years, like it or not, we were, politically speaking, asleep at the wheel. And, there were some people, I found it kind of funny that toward the latter portion of the Obama administration, you had all of these black people, of some of high standing, now coming out and calling the community out, or not the community, but basically saying how the Obama administration had ignored black people, had not taken on the interest of the black community, which is not inaccurate. But when so many of us, let me not say so many, when some of us said these things in earlier years, people wanted us tarred and feathered and called us all sorts of vile and nasty things. But the way I look at it is like this. Part of this, is what they're saying, said both then and now, is not necessarily inaccurate. I'm not going to dispute that because I agree. However, as an electorate, part of that is on us. And when I say us, I mean our community. Because here's the thing. All of the various other groups, women, Latinos, immigrants, homosexuals that made strides during the past 8 years. Here's the difference. And again, you saw it with the current campaign cycle with Hillary, for instance. And I'll kind of delve into what I mean by that momentarily. But, when they met with the first go around, Senator Obama, and then when he was running for re-election, President Obama, they came to the table, a couple things. They came to the table with an agenda of here's what our community wants, here's what we need from you, and we have this money, blah blah blah, and if you want our support and these campaign contributions, let's discuss how we can get our needs met. And by and large, they got their needs met. We didn't do that. We didn't come to the table with neither. While they approached it strategically, we approached it emotionally. They could care less how cool he was or how much swag he had. They could give a flying crud about that. They were concerned about, these are our goals and how can we achieve them. And for the most part they did. And we didn't look at it that way, and then 8 years later, here we are. Not any better off than we were in 2008, going into 2009. And so bringing that back to one, like I said, even with the Hillary thing, when she met with some of these groups, the same thing happened. They discussed facts, policies, money, so on and so forth. She meets with us, get out there and dance. Have a dance off. We want to do the wobble with Roland Martin. Come on, Roland. And that's why we continue to get overlooked as a group from a political standpoint. Let me say that. So, with the incoming administration, okay, you've got your racism, your white supremacy right out in front of you. Now, with that being said, looks like you can't turn to the government to achieve whatever it is that you need. So, you have to realize that we are all we have. So, this is the time, I say, to get our economic affairs in order as a community, to form that economic base, so that if we choose to engage in the political system, we have some clout to go with it, rather than just that these folks are going to have to come to us with some concrete discussions rather than emotional pleas. Don't go to the church and talk to the community, talk to the business leaders, talk to those folks. And through that, because I'm a firm believer in getting our economic affairs in order. That's step one. That we can start to build businesses and build our communities to where we won't necessarily have to look for some politician or something to do something for us. That we can do it on our own. And we waited around, some of us, for the past 8 years for that to happen, and it didn't. So now it's really not going to happen. So now we need to understand that if it's going to happen, it's going to be on us. So do I look for anything coming from this administration? No, because I didn't from the last one. I wouldn't have had Hillary won. But I hope, I really do, and I'm going to just leave us with this, is that we can take this as kind of the wake-up call that we need to get out and do the things that we need to do, because no one else is going to do it. And we can take examples from some of these other groups out here that got things done on their own or in conjunction through getting their acts together and then utilizing the political system and politicians as tools, as a means to their desired ends. So with that being said, I hope that is how we can look at the upcoming, like I said, 2 to 4 to 8 years and beyond. That we can look at this as kind of a springboard, a germination period if you will, into growing into what we need to do. So, with that being said, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think of what I had to say? Hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. So, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you for watching. The truth will rise. I'm out.